everybody. Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. Welcome to All About the Joy, the private lounge. In the house is Mario and Alma, Rick Costa, Cynthia. Hi.
Hi.
How you guys been doing? Good. It's been a minute. Miss you. We're going to have a conversation about crowdfunding sites. And I think a lot of you, if not, I sent you the link, but a lot of people have heard about, I'm not going to say the name of the person. I'm not going to say the crowdfunding sites, but we're going to talk about this because I think it's an interesting conversation that's been happening. There was a woman at a playground site with her own child who called another child the N-word because the said child supposedly, I think the child is 4, 5, 6 years old, took a toy or took something out of her bag. And so she felt it important enough to scream the N-word at the child. She was recorded by another gentleman. The gentleman proceeded to ask her, why did you, he was upset. He was like, why are you calling this child the N-word? How could you do that? And she just, with no problem whatsoever, kept saying it over and over again because she felt entitled to do that or whatever. So the next part of this that's very triggering to me is because of that, she set up a crowdfunding site. It is not the regular crowdfunding site that most people know. It is a Christian-based crowdfunding site that is well known for supporting white supremacists, supporting, neo-Nazis. It also raised the money for Kyle Rittenhouse. If you guys remember who he is, I will say his name because it is in an interesting part of this conversation. She has raised over $750,000 as of 10 minutes ago when I just last checked on the crowdfunding site. When you go in and look at all the people who are donating money, now everyone is doing anonymous. But when I was looking at it, when it first started, people were doing like every different variation of Hitler names. People were thinking they were clever and saying things like Michelle Obama donated money, right? They were hiding their names, but they were saying all of these really, I think, horrible, asinine things. Let me also say on the other side, the parents of the young child who was called the N-word, they also had set up a crowdfunding site on the probably more well-known crowdfunding site. I'm not going to say their name either. They raised $300,000 pretty quickly, and then they cut it off because they didn't want to keep taking money from people. So they stopped collecting money. Whereas this other person, the woman that called the child the N-word, keeps upping the amount. So now she is requesting up to $1 million. Okay. The only other person that I think is actually, he's been getting death threats. He's already moved his family, his children and his family out of their house, is the man who actually did the videotaping. He set up a crowdfunding on a different site and he raised like $40,000 just to help him move because he's getting death threats. And out of everyone, I feel probably even worse for him because he was so doing the right thing and his life has been upended. So first I wanted to get your thoughts on the crowdfunding parts of this or anything you want to talk about regarding it. I know it's very triggering, but that's what these conversations are for. You don't have to divulge. You guys know this is not about divulging our personal, I will, because that's how I is, but none of you have to divulge anything. Let's just have the conversation because it's out there anyways. Rick, I don't know if you have some insight, being that I'm talking about that site that is supposedly Christian.
Yeah, I didn't even know that part. It's astounding that people are rewarding her for bad behavior. Like, really? Let me find something to say, see if I can make some money. This is insanity. This is nuts. There's people that are thinking, oh yeah, I agree with you. Because why would you give money unless you agreed with her? And this many and that much? But the worst is that she keeps upping it. I'm like, you have no shame.
You know what? We're going to talk about shame because I think that's important. But let me say, I actually think what's worse, not that she's upping it. I agree with you. But I think we already know the moral of this woman. Her morals are clearly out of whack as far as I'm concerned. I don't care what your reasoning is. Yelling at a child Let's not even talk about the N word. Yelling at a child. It's just ridiculous to me. And then on top of it, the N word. So, but you know what's worse? The donations. It's not like there's one person giving 3,000 or 4,000. It's $1, $5, $10. It's so many people. That to me is the heart-wrenching part. I just want to throw that in there because when you said that, it just recalled me. But you were talking about shame, which I think is important.
Yeah, she has done. That's absolutely ridiculous. Like what do they call that? A grifter? Is that what they call it? Somebody just trying to make money. And it's like, you are, in my opinion, the lowest of the low. Like, it doesn't get much worse. Like, how can you do this? This is insane. You did something bad and getting rewarded for it by other people. Are we in a Twilight Zone episode? What is happening here? It's crazy.
I think for me, this video just really illustrates the point that I'll speak for myself, me as a parent of a Black child, always try to explain to people that our children are not allowed to be children. Our children are not allowed to be children. And this is the reason why we have to create safe spaces for them so that they can be children, and be safe. Because these children are just at a playground in their neighborhood. And, their parent, I guess, felt safe enough for them to go to this park in their neighborhood on their own to go and play because they do it. They've done it before, but even there, they're not safe.
There was no safety.
There is no safety. There is no safety for children of color. There is no safety, even for a child. So if a child is being treated like this openly, courting you, and you're able to make money off of this, how safe are Black men? They're not.
Let me add this part too, not because I want to be fair, but I should be fair. It's not like I'm a motherfucking journalist, but let me just say the argument for her needing the money, if you read her site or whatever, is because now everyone's going after her. She says that supposedly, and I'm doing this, that her name was leaked, her address was leaked, she has to move her children. But I'm like, oh, okay, like maybe that's part of the argument for why she needed to raise money. I think she did a bad thing, and there are consequences when we do bad things, but somehow it's going back to what Rick said, like the consequence here seems to be rewarding you for a retirement plan, right?
It only took $40,000 for the other guy to uproot his family. It's taking her now $750 and possibly $1 million to move her and her family. Like, why so much more? Let me tell you, when I saw the video, the Boston came out of me.
Oh,
I watched it because had that been me standing out there watching this woman do that, I would have confronted her. Forget the cameras and all. I would have confronted her.
Yeah.
Me and her probably would have went at it or something. But, after watching it, I had to calm myself down because, that's not Christian of me. Her saying she's a Christian woman. And, all these people who are giving money to her and are doing it anonymously, they're all cowards. Because if you really believed in what she was doing, why not put your name out there? Why not put your name on that list instead of doing it anonymously?
I don't know if she said she's a Christian woman. I don't know if you saw that somewhere. I don't know. The crowdfunding site is a site that was initially started by siblings who set it up, I think, for good intentions. It was for missionary work back in 2014, for missionary work and giving medical care to people who were doing missionary work or something like that. Because I went and did some research. I wanted to know what this site was. However, they thought that the other crowdfunding site, which we all know very well, was anti-Christian, which I don't know if that's very true. I don't think all that really matters, but okay, so set up your own site, do what you want. But when you start saying you're Christian and you start supporting things that I would believe are not Christian, at all and are
Mm-hmm.
immoral. Like that line. What is that line? So I'm not sure that she said she is Christian. One of the latest things that I saw today, I was going to post it on here, but I don't want to trigger you all because Tizzy is somebody who everyone I think follows or knows who he is. He's the one I think who starts sending these things out, and he has an update, and she is proudly even writing the N-word to verify who she is and posting it on Twitter or X, whatever it's called. Let me just say this. What's happening with the crowdfunding site as of 10 minutes ago that I was looking at, there is a young lady whose name I don't remember. I should have written it down because I would like to say her name. She's a coder. She went in and looked at what third-party app is supplying the banking and routing information that holds all that money that then gives it to her. And she has figured out that it's not Stripe, it's Square. That sounds so funny, but you know, it's Square. And I think they're going to try to disable it, but I don't think they're going to get away with that. I think they're trying to disable the programming so that she won't get the money. And I think, you know, that in and of itself, I understand. And what a smart woman to find out who the third party banking institution is. But I don't think that's the right way to do it either. But I think they want to kind of pressure the third party app to say, no, we're not going to give you this money. So that's another little tidbit. Mario, share whatever you want to share, even if it's nothing at all.
I have no words. I just don't.
Okay.
I don't have anything to say because I live it every day. I been called that. Don't have anything else to say.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that we are continuously going backwards into a slave mentality where people think that we are boys, we are the N-word when we are children, when our children are coming out of the womb. Mm-hmm. And that's what you're seen as. When we were written into the Constitution as 2/3, I don't have anything else to say. I just think that I feel sorry for the child because the child was exposed to something that baby probably didn't even know what that meant. Mm-hmm. But
they will now.
He knows now. And it is a touchstone memory that is ingrained in him from the age of 5 for the rest of his life. And he didn't even get a chance to live, get to a teenager or an adult.
That's part of America though, right? That's part of our country.
So,
my book starts off, Rick and Cynthia, you guys have read my book, starts off with me being called the N-word. That's how it begins. I think even as a woman, I've been called that. And I was a kid. I ran home to my mother because I was crying so hard, trying to figure out why everybody hated me and why they were calling me this name. And yeah, this is part of America. I'm not trying to blow it off, but I'm like, I agree with you. That kid never had a chance. This, I think, is even harder in a way because it will be online, right? Forever.
What a thing to be famous for. It's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you're that kid? He has to live with that the whole rest of his life.
Were they able to shield him though?
He did. He shielded him. Now, my thing is, I hope that the mother, the parents get a lawyer and sue her for everything that she's getting.
They are. I think the NAACP is already involved.
I really do. So yeah, keep raising the money. Keep raising the money so that it can all go to him. Keep raising it so it can all go to him. That's my prayer and my hope.
Yeah. You know what's so interesting though? Like as Mario was speaking so solemnly, is that the right word? So I feel it in your heart, you know. What I was thinking about as you were speaking was, and then we have Kendrick Lamar. And then we have Ryan Coogler. And then we have the Met Gala that just happened. And I'm like, you can't push us down. You cannot push Black folk down. And I think this is what is so amazing to watch these people who are trying to hold on to crumbs of white supremacy because they cannot deal with the brilliance that has always been and is now even shining more blatantly every single day. And I am sorry about that. It's kind of like when you were saying, I'm like, that's my prayer. You have to keep seeing the magnificence of Black beauty.
Like, and still I rise, right? And still I rise.
No, it's about, and I hope maybe this young man will see it one day. It's about Black boy joy. And I hope this doesn't scar him so much that he forgets that he is a beautiful Black boy and full of joy. And that's the beauty in us giving back to our kids and saying, you have Black boy joy, you have Black girl magic. Those are those things, those little diamonds that penetrate and pierce the hate. So,
and what about the white child?
But bless his heart.
Yeah, I'm being serious. She's holding a white kid in her hand.
No, but the thing is, that's what she wants to teach him.
Yeah.
But then there are those people out in the world, and there are some kind allies who see us for who we are and love us naturally and beautifully and magnificently. There are the world, everyone doesn't hate us, and I understand that. But it's unfortunate that these ignorant people get the glory and the shine, and it just perpetrates the negativity over we should be shining lights on our Black doctors, our Black lawyers, our Black accountants, our Black magnificent people, not just in the arts, but in science. You are beautiful. You are loved. You are magnificent.
Can I interject here? Because this is probably not going to make you happy, but here's the thing that pisses me off about it is as people continue to be racist fucktards, and I'm going to say it that way, you also take away from the beauty of every culture in this country.
That's not my fault. That's her fault.
No, I know that's her fault, but that's what I'm saying is then we all become hyper-focused on only how we can keep shining because there's no ability to breathe and to just enjoy each other because of the racism, because of the hatred.
Can't do nothing about that, but just keep living and doing what I do and keep feeling what I feel. You got to uplift yourself because nobody else is going to do it.
That's not the world I want to live in. I'm just saying.
But it's the world that is.
Cynthia, thoughts?
I said my piece.
Can we find some joy tonight?
Yes. We have a new pope.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about the new pope because all we're going to do is talk about politics, which is just going to bring you guys back down. Okay?
I didn't want to say one thing.
No, go ahead, Rick. Go ahead.
Joyful. But because there is some people that love to say, y'all are exaggerating. There's not racism. It's racism because y'all keep talking about it. Okay, then how did she get all this money? Who are all these people?
Exactly.
Yep.
And I try to love everybody. I really do.
I don't try to love everybody because that's not my goal.
But you know what? Because the thing is, as true Christians, God is love. And you're supposed to love everyone.
You can't love someone, Mario, and in one breath say you want to be revengeful, which is what Alma just did.
No, because
it's not about revengeful because
you
I'm
said,
not fighting. My hope and my prayer, exactly. My hope and my prayer is that they do get some type of redemption. But it's not my fight. The fight is the Lord's. That's it. I can pray for them. I'm just saying no, because I don't want you to misinterpret what I said. What I said was, I hope and I pray that he does get the money. He does. That's not going to change the hatred in that woman's heart. I pray that the Lord works on her heart, but that's not my job. That's the Lord's job. But I can pray that. I can pray for that.
Oh,
I
I'm not
can.
telling you can't pray for
So,
that. I'm
and
just
it's not
saying
about
you
hatred.
can't
It's
start
about what I'm called
defining
to
what
do.
love is and then the next breath saying something
And
that I
you
think is kind of,
Oh,
no,
no,
two things
it
can
could be
be
the
true.
same.
Yep, they can be
It can
true
be at the
all at the
same
same
time.
time.
I'm just
And the
saying I
thing is that,
disagree with
and
kind of
as
what you're
he
saying.
said, we're called to love everyone. I don't have to like everyone,
Boom.
and
And all
everyone
I'm
doesn't
saying
have
is,
to
and you can
actually
just
love
wait.
everyone.
Can I say a word now? Let me just say something. Here's what I'm saying. Your definition of love is very different from my definition of love. That's all I'm saying
And
here.
that's okay.
And yeah, and that's okay. We can agree to disagree. I
Exactly.
just think for me, it's like, I don't have to love everybody. Like, I actually don't love everybody. I don't love people who hurt other people. And
And that's okay.
I can actually say that I hate those people. And I think the problem, this is my opinion,
Mhm.
I think the problem is we put a lot of emphasis and freely use love like it's no big deal. But then hate, we're all like clutching our pearls like it means something big. And it's no, there are some people, there are 8 billion people on this planet. There is no way I'm going to love all of them because some of them are horrible human beings, like this woman. I have no problem saying I do not love her. I have no wanting to love her. I think what she is doing, she just damaged. You just talked for 10, 12 minutes about how much she just damaged a young boy's joy. Why am I going to find love in her? There's no love to have for her. None.
But we don't know her heart. That's what I'm saying. We
She
can't
showed her heart
speak
to me.
for her. Well, I mean, she has her own child.
There has to be
Will
some
we?
love there.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I can't speak on what's in her heart. Her actions show the ugliness that is in there for certain. But yeah, it's just different philosophies.
Rick, what's your thought process on any of this? Since you're the
I think there's a
guru of
difference.
Christianity in the room.
I don't know.
That's what you
I'll be like
Speak on
y'all.
it, Rick.
I'll be like y'all when you're talking about women stuff. Like, I don't represent all women. Well, I don't represent all Christians.
Tell him, Rick.
But I think there's a difference between revenge and justice.
Yes.
Revenge is, I hope she falls off a bridge.
Right.
Justice is, I don't care how it happens, she ain't gonna get none of that money that she don't deserve. I think it's two different things.
And I think that's a very gray line of wishing her ill will, but not saying it that way and putting it on the Lord. You can do it however you want. Like,
Think of it this way. There's a difference between telling somebody have a blessed day and saying, I hope you have a day you deserve.
Boom.
yeah, but it's still okay. All I'm saying is you guys are using verbiage to say the same thing. You may not want to use the word revenge or whatever, but at the end of the day, you're wishing that she doesn't get the money, which in turn will hurt her, right? Supposedly. I'm on the side of her not getting anything either. I just don't want the woman who wants to code and do it that way to get in. I don't want any more people to get in trouble in this mess. You know what I mean? I think when you say have the day you deserve, that's coming from a place of being a little snooty about it, right? You're doing something, you're saying something, but what you really mean is F you know what I mean? Or whatever it is you're trying to insinuate. So you can color your words however you want. There's still the basic meaning behind it. So I understand that's your belief system. I'm just saying I disagree with I pray for her redemption and then I have to love her thing. To me, that feels very contradictory, but it's because I don't believe the same thing you believe. And I think that's okay. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I don't want to promote one way of thinking over the other because I am not a Christian. I'm not. I have been done with that thing long time ago, even though I will respect all of y'all Christians in the room. So I will respect your Christianity, but I don't want to lie about how I feel about it.
No, and everybody's feelings in the room are valid, 100%. And that's the beauty of being an individual. We all have our own opinions and thoughts, and we can respect each other and have a very a very passionate conversation about something and still respect each other.
Yeah.
So
it's not that I don't want to talk about the Pope. We can talk about the Pope tomorrow if you guys come on the show, whatever. The thing about talking about certain things with you guys as a group is that it's very eggshelly sometimes, because I know that we have different viewpoints on what God is and what God is not, and, Christianity versus the Bible. And Rick knows, I think in the last episode that I just put up, honoring Rick. I don't know if you guys got to see it. I don't know. I don't think Rick liked it very much, but that's okay.
Oh, I thought it was adorable.
I don't know.
He said it was adorable. It was adorable.
I'm not feeling that, but whatever. I was trying to.
Warm feelings.
What?
Squishy inside.
Squishy inside. Yeah.
Squishy.
Yeah.
I missed something in this conversation. You had said it had been so long since we had done something just me and you. And then the other day we thought it was going to be me and you. And then I felt bad because then Jeff came on the show. And then it wasn't. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do I had been thinking about it anyways. And so I took them from a long time ago, whatever. But my point is, even on there, I explained in one of those segments back then, that I don't believe what you believe. And sometimes when I watch your show, I'm like, nope. But I keep it to myself. I don't go in your comments or say anything. You know what I mean? But so you and I we don't agree on a lot of things. But then I think fundamentally, I don't know if it's just about respect, because I think that goes without saying. I wouldn't be involved with people I don't respect. But I think just being able to understand that it's okay to not have the same fundamental belief system.
Yeah.
But you can still be friends or still be acquaintances and still talk to each other. You know what 100%. I mean? But I think on this issue, just to get back to the crowdfunding, I was curious if you guys think that this whole new way of living, because when we were growing up, and Rick, you touched on it a bit. When we were growing up, I don't know how many times I was called names or beat up or whatever. There was no crowdfunding. You know how rich I'd be right now. Do you guys think, I'm not trying to be funny, but Rick, you kind of said earlier, but do you guys have a thought or an idea of how crowdfunding is changing the way everybody does I'm not going to say the name of the site, but does a crowdfunding thing whenever they need something? I see it all the time now. And I have to tell you, sometimes I get really bitter about it. Maybe that's just me though.
Well, okay. If there's a true need,
like medical,
like, for example, there was a time where we were struggling and we didn't have any groceries in the house. And we were like, okay, how are we going to get our food? I was like, oh, crowdfunding would have been helpful. You understand what I'm saying? But the thing is, then you see people's stories and you're like, are they really? Because now you're like, because now you find out somebody's driving a Lambo and you're on some BS, and I gave you my hard-earned $50. You know what I'm saying? $5. And so that's where it gets a little sketch, because then we've seen the scam artists come out through these crowdfunding things. So it's a little dicey,
I like the ones that are for, like, I donated money last year, didn't know who it was, but it was a young woman. I'm not gonna say woman, she's a kid, high school kid, doing a film. And her father helped her do he was on LinkedIn, and she was trying to do a film to put into one of the festivals. And I was like, so artists, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, give some money to this. And those things I think are kind of a cool way to help, especially when you don't know somebody or whatever.
Yeah. I think with these crowdfunding, like you said, I think it's consumer beware. So if you're going to give it, then, give it. There's ways of, being a sleuth and kind of investigating to see if things are kind of real. If I feel led to it, I do things like, I don't want to, like the ones that the educators go on and ask for supplies and things like that. I like doing those because I know that it's helping an educator, because I see from my own experience how much of their own money they put back into.
Well, let's just say that's horrible that even this has been happening forever, but let's just give a shout out to teachers, because Alice McIntyre used to do that in the 7th grade, and we know how old I am. And she would take money out of her own pocket, and teachers are still to this day
still doing it
in their motherfucking offices, in their classroom. And that's horrible. And they have the Amazon Lists?
A wish list.
Yeah.
Come
So
on.
yeah, I mean, that's how they're able to supplement some of their things. The other thing that I do like to also do is like students, if they're trying to do their senior trip or they're trying to do their trip abroad or they're trying to go study abroad, there's ways to investigate that. And usually they put the links there for the school so you can go see that it's legit, things like that. So I do like to do those,
But if somebody needs legal services, and let's say it's a legitimate person.
And like I said, the beauty of it is you can pick and choose. There's a lot. There's so many. Yeah. There's so many. Where it used to be more rare, now it's the more common thing. Where before we would go to the church and they have a fund where they help, benevolent fund where they help, or community, or family. That's how it used to be before. Now it's you go and you do a link and send it out.
You do a TikTok and you send a link, and then you get a superstar like Tizzy or something.
We've had someone bold us to send a direct text requesting.
I told you that story.
So
that's right.
But I mean, I'm just gonna say that. I'm not going any further. But yeah, we've had that, and I was like, huh?
Cynthia, would you ever do it?
No. But I know my brother has done one when his house caught on fire.
What do you mean? I didn't know about it.
This was years ago. Yeah. The boiler actually in the basement.
Still there, Carmen. You can still donate.
How did I not know? Wait, was this Sean?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Okay.
This was years ago. Maybe, I think it was probably before COVID. The boiler in the basement.
Long ago.
A few years.
I thought you meant like 30 years ago, but like, okay,
no.
Talk later.
But the boiler exploded in the basement and caught on fire. Yeah.
Oh man.
Thankfully, everybody got out. Like all 3 apartments everyone's out. They did lose a dog, but everybody got out.
Someone made a good point on TikTok. They said, you have money to give to this crowdfunding situation, the woman who did the N-word thing, but you don't have money for eggs. Got it. Understood. I was like, oh my God. But you complaining about money for eggs. And I was like, yeah, exactly. So it's an interesting dynamic. Yeah.
It is tricky. Because I do know somebody else who did one, and I knew their situation, and I couldn't believe that they were doing it. And I did not donate. But
that's where it's tricky. I think it's a different thing. Again, I think we've established things. There's certain things where we're like, if it's children or school teachers or somebody who's actually in need, I don't even care what it's about, if it's something in need. But I think what's harder for me, especially when it comes to the lawyer thing, right? The needing legal or whatever. There are a lot of law firms out there, especially if it's now become a high profile thing. They're going to do it pro bono. Because the marketing and advertising alone is worth it. Al Sharpton gonna be out and do what he need to do to take care of people. You know what I mean? Or
lawyer Allred, she gonna be out there.
That's right. So I always get nervous when I see that kind of thing. And I also think it's made us, I don't know how to say this in a nicer way, but I'm suspect now every time I see a crowdfunding thing. Every time.
I agree.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I agree. To me, it's more teach our kid that it's about the human connection. So do good in your community. Find out what the need is here, because there's plenty of people in your own neighborhood that need. The local churches help. The local food banks, they need help.
And that's a secure place to give to.
Yes, exactly.
Your church or your food bank. Exactly. Then someone, if I need something, you know what? That's where I would go first.
That part. And the thing is that if you really want it, they'll give you a receipt. You know what I'm saying? So those are the places that I say go. And don't just give the money. If you can give your time, they really appreciate you giving your time, because then they get to know you. And when you get to make those connections, and then to me, it's like you're more willing to go back and help again, because it's like whatever time you have, if it's just 1 hour once a month, they will gladly,
And a lot of people want help too online. You'd be surprised how many churches, food banks, whatever, are not techie and really could use somebody who could help them with kind of the things that maybe younger Gen Z, whatever people know how to do. So you could probably
or delivering. Churches need help delivering things.
Seniors as well.
Yeah. Even for myself, just knowing the second language, just helping people fill out forms, helping people translate documents, things like that.
And there's so much joy when you volunteer and help people. Mario, there's your joy, baby. There it is. We volunteer.
And I mean, just even this past weekend, there's a local farmers market every weekend. And one of the things, sometimes we'll all go, and then sometimes our kid will just go on her own. And she came back and she was like, I just saw this gentleman and I was just really moved to help them. I want to go back. I told them that I was going to come back. So all three of us, we put a bag together with toiletries, clothes, because that's what he said he needed. He said he needed toiletries. He said he needed clean clothes. He said he wanted snacks. And because he was just trying to make it. And we were like, okay, when we put it all together, we packed the bag.
I think that's the thing about community, right? We've lost that. But it's so hard, and not to keep bringing it back to what we started talking about, but like in the one sense, you have the crowdfunding that could act as a way of community to help, right? Because you could be in another state and you could be like, oh, this gentleman needs something. I can donate money. Like I know for the fires we had here in the Palisades, a lot of individual people were doing crowdfunding sites. And so you see that and you're like, okay, like you can help. So in one sense, it brings community together, even if you're not in the state. On the other hand, though, I still think what we're missing is the in touch, in person, even if it's like this, which is part of what we're trying to do here.
Most definitely. So I agree with that. It's just, to me, it's that it's that person to person connection. And I feel if a person just wants food, take them. That's always my thing. You want food? Okay, come on, let's go. Let me go buy you the meal. I will buy you the meal. Now, I've had situations where they've been like, oh, no, I just want the money. Oh, sorry, I can't help you.
Right.
No, this one gentleman told my mother, $5? What am I going to do with $5? I was like, he said, give me my $5 back.
Oh, no.
It takes all kinds. But I'm just saying, I just feel like if you really want to do well. And
not wrong, Mario. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean,
it's not
it's
wrong.
It's a start. More than you had.
Some eggs. Some eggs.
In LA, baby. What you gonna do with $5? No, I'm kidding. I totally.
You go to CVS and get you a sandwich.
I can't.
I'm sorry. I had to.
Look. I'm saying is look in your neighborhood. Look at your local school. Look at your local food bank. That's where you can give and know that it's going back to into your own community.
And look, if you do want to do crowdfunding, just do what you said earlier. Just make sure you research it. I think technology is great. I think it has done a lot to bring us together. I think I've never met Rick in person, and Cynthia and Mario and Alma have never met. You know what I mean? And so it's this.
We have. We met on here. We met. What you talking
No, but
about?
I'm saying like we haven't done the physical thing. Okay, that sounds wrong, but you know what I mean.
He said no.
I don't really want to touch each other now.
Reach out and touch.
I'm just saying, like, I think, that's part of what All About the Joy is trying to do, is build community, even if it's through this kind of situation on the internet, because I think having the conversations, having the arguments, having the whatever controversies, the discussions actually builds community, which is what we're missing, right? We're missing that kind of ability to be in touch with each other and get to know each other. I say this all the time. I would not be here today if it was, this is not even an exaggeration. It is not an exaggeration. I would not be here today if it wasn't for the community that I grew up in. Cynthia can vouch for that. I'm just saying and we've lost that. I don't think today, if what happened to me when I was growing up happened, I think I would have fallen through the cracks easily, without a doubt, because we don't have that sense of community no more. People don't care about their next door neighbors.
It's so sad because just working in the schools, you see how a lot of that used to be the kids would get, with family or with community, be able to, grow up. Now it's just now even that is monetized. Oh, sure. Yeah. I'll foster, but it's monetized, or I'll take them, but I'm not going to adopt, because if I adopt,
I don't get that money.
I don't get the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, yeah.
Is that part of our capitalist country? I don't know. Is
very
it?
Very much. Everything is, and
I want Rick and Cynthia to say something, because and then I edit and it's just me and Alma talking.
I'll be quiet.
No, it's true though, right? Me and you are like, and then you and I should just have a show together.
We should.
Me and you.
You should.
Those Latinas,
right? Well, we could do it in Spanish with my broken fucking English Spanish. It'd be cool, like
Spanish.
Spanish.
We can do it in Spanglish.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be so good. Okay, we're gonna hook that up. Rick, Cynthia, thoughts, ideas.
You want to go first, Cynthia?
Go ahead, Rick.
Oh my God.
Well, it used to be said it takes a village, but now the village is too scared because you might get in trouble because you talk to my kid that way. How dare you? I'm like, your kid just try to beat up my kid. Like, I'm gonna sit here and do nothing
the
about it.
village is backstabbing each other. That's why.
Rick, do you know who wrote a book and called it that?
Mm-mm.
It Takes a Village.
Oh, was it Maya Angelou?
No.
Who?
Hillary Clinton.
Oh.
Boom. Sorry. Takes a Village.
The other thing I wanted to bring up too, bringing it back to crowdfunding, is because I've heard of a lot of people that started one and then the crowdfunding place canceled it.
Yeah.
And they had already raised a lot of money. So I'm going to be honest with you. In my mind, I thought when this started, I'm like, surely they're going to cancel this.
Because that's the norm. So let me verify. So there is the normal or the most known one that everyone can pretty much say easily.
Yeah.
Then there was another one established, and I'm not lying to you. It is the American Christian crowdfunding site. That's not the name of it. I'm just telling you that's their definition. And it was established in 2014. For the first purpose. And then after that, it became a place that helped neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups. And Kyle Rittenhouse is one of the biggest names recently, right, in the past years, who killed 2 people. And here's the thing, just to be fair, I want to be fair. Everyone has a right to a defense. Everyone does, especially if you become a high profile, even if I hate you. I want everyone in this country to have due process, which is what we have in our Constitution. And please know I didn't say citizens. Everyone in this country is allowed due process. And so that means Kyle Rittenhouse and the women and anyone else. What I'm saying is, where is our ethical line? Where is our morality? Where is that line where we're now making $750,000 on calling a child a name, the N-word, and using that word easily, right? What is that line?
And I want to know if this one that is going to eventually give her the money, which I hope she doesn't get the money, if they're not big on canceling, well, have they ever? And who have they canceled? I want to know that.
They've given money to neo-Nazis and white supremacists, and so why would they cancel this? This seems to be in line with what they do. I think with the young woman whose name I wish I knew because I would scream her name. I just don't remember her name. I just saw it and I didn't write it down. The coder, what she's saying is, if a place like Stripe or Square or whichever one is, if we tell them they cannot allow that money to go through, it'll make it harder and she won't be able to get the money. So she's saying she found out what the third party was and it's Square. And so putting a pressure campaign on them not to allow the money to come. But I still think the problem is all the donations that are going to begin with. It's not even about
it's not even about it's about where it began and how many people are encouraging
it and are saying that it's actually okay that she did what she did.
Where was the parent of that child?
From what I understand, the gentleman knows the children because he takes his children there to play. And those kids are there. They come to play there every day as well when he brings his kids. They must not live far, but that the child was there with an older sibling.
Oh, okay. I think you're right.
An
You're
older
right.
son recording because that woman started chasing them because he took whatever it was
Her bag,
her bag, and called them the N word, and then he even said something like, "You were trying to hit him," like So it was just
I think again, I'm always like, would I ever pull out my phone? Like every time I'm in a situation, I don't know if you guys saw my latest TikTok, probably not, because I know you guys aren't always on TikTok, but I was coming home the other day from taking a walk, and I'm walking home, and there's a lot of trees on our street. This is like a big one coming out the sidewalk. It's like big and fat. And I saw a woman about to take off her pants and a man in front of, and he was holding this area. Yup. I thought they were about to have sex. It's worse than this. It's worse than that. Okay. He was peeing. He was urinating, and she was about to, and she saw me. I stopped cold. I was like, what is happening? And I said that out loud. Like, I had my headset on, and he kept going. Now he was going around the tree. And you could tell she was, look at your face. I did a TikTok on this. Not of them. When I was.
Let me TikTok this. Oh my God.
No. Here's the thing. I live on a side street of a very busy street. Okay. A very busy, well-known street. Mm-hmm. And I was shook. And my first thought wasn't like, let me pull out my phone and do a TikTok on this. You know what I mean? I was totally thrown, and the woman was totally scattered. She was totally embarrassed or whatever. And here's the thing. They were maybe in their 30s. They were not homeless. They looked well-dressed. I mean, if they were homeless, it's recently or something. Here's the thing. I was there for like at least a minute because I did not know what to do. Like did you
set up a crowdfunding for them and help?
Them? What about my mental
my trauma?
I set up a crowdfunding for a spotlight to
porta potty
right there. So whenever anything moves, it just.
Oh my God! The thing is, it was during the day. It wasn't nighttime. It was during the day.
Not during the day.
And you don't live far from a main street, so they could have gone to a restaurant or
not even a restaurant. We have free bathrooms. I live 911.
There's people exposing themselves, and there's children around.
What I'm trying to say is, I was shook. There were other people. There was a couple walking towards me, and I was like, "They're gonna see this." And when I saw them coming, that's when I kept walking. But my point is, I was shook. Shook it. And my thought process wasn't like, let me find my phone.
We are different. Because I'd have been like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, I did say that. I was like, what?
And then my Salvadorian comes out, and I would have been like,
I think you and Cynthia would have handled it differently. I was shook.
Alma and Cynthia are the same.
Yeah.
What the? I swear, I feel like there's kids here. There's people.
I know when the couple walked by, because my house was right there.
I know there's a coffee shop around the corner.
And I heard them say something. What?
I'm like, I know there's a coffee shop around the corner. Go get a code and use the.
You know what? I honestly wish when I came home is when I did the TikTok. I could not, and it took me like an hour. I couldn't even. I was. That's why
I married to him too long, because I'd have been like, I don't want to see your kibbles and bits. Like,
here's the thing: there's no shame. There's no shame. And here's the thing: this is a very wealthy area. I don't know why.
You've been out of Boston for too long.
See, it's another. We'll do another show on all about the joy of fetishes.
Is that what this was?
Was it really?
It's really a fetish.
About in public, defecating.
I think you know what? I think you're right.
They were R. Kellyan.
Yeah, no, it's just
Cynthia, stop.
They are. Y'all listen. They are exhibitionists. They get their rocks off about doing that stuff.
I think I didn't even.
Yeah, it's a thing.
They were a couple.
It's a couple. Yeah, it's a thing.
Oh
my God, I'm even more disgusted now.
You're like, oh yeah, baby.
You helped them.
Oh yeah.
You saw her face. Ooh.
Do you see her face? That was good. Let's go.
Why are you doing? I'm fighting what you got on the whole show is me and you fighting today. Oh my God, I helped him.
You helped them get their rocks off. Good for you.
You know what, though? I think
Good
you're
for
right.
you.
I couldn't understand. All you have to do is go on your phone and do bathroom, and it'll show you. And I'm right here at the beach. There are bathrooms right there.
No, it's the excitement of possibly getting caught. And so you helped them get caught. Good for you.
Going to the bathroom is a fetish? That's disgusting.
You've heard of golden showers. Stop it. You know what that is. Stop it. See, now you know. See, your face just told me.
I'm sitting there thinking about Donald Trump. That's why.
But still, you know what it was.
I did not realize. It didn't even dawn on me. Did you guys, Cynthia, Rick?
I didn't think about that part either. I was just like,
Cynthia knew. She just didn't. She was too modest.
They could have also tried to, like, they were about to have sex and they were like, saw somebody coming, like, let's play it off and let me just.
No, he was literally, and it was a lot. He was peeing. I didn't see it at first, but then I looked at him because I thought they were going to have sex. And here's the thing. I'm talking about on the street.
Yeah.
Like you walk out of their home. It's right there. They weren't hiding. They weren't. Yeah. I think you're right, Mario. Didn't even dawn on me.
It is a
You're
thing.
right. I think it was that. It's a fetish, weird thing.
It's a fetish.
And she got embarrassed, and he kept going, and he just went around the tree.
Yeah.
And then the other the couple that came towards me, I felt bad because I'm like, I'm just going into my house, right? I went down my alleyway, whatever. The other two couple, you could hear them doing like they were yelling something. They were yelling at them something. Yeah.
It's a thing. You're welcome. Listen. Look at her face.
No.
She's like, she helped. You did it. You did your job.
Great. Now, is this
you
joy
brought them
for you,
joy.
Mario? Do you feel better now? Is this the joy?
This is the joy. You brought them joy. It was. She said, "Hi, welcome. My name is Carmen. I have a show called All About the Joy. I'm bringing you joy today."
And then I'm gonna talk about it on my show.
This is terrible. This was a horrible show. I'm not airing it. Horrible. Ew, now I'm grossed out even more in a whole different icky way.
What can I say except
she's gonna go and take another shower after the show.
You know what? I think that, you know what it is? I feel stupid. It didn't even dawn on me. All I
you can do a follow up TikTok.
What?
You can do a follow up TikTok.
I'm not doing a follow-up TikTok. I had forgotten about it.
I'm changing the subject. We're not going to talk about that anymore.
Yeah, there's no shame, though. There's no shame.
It's a trend, but it ain't on TikTok.
That part.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a great show. It's time to end this.
It's not time to end it. So we're going to say, since it's National Teachers Week, make sure you thank a teacher.
Thank you, Alma.
Thank you, Alma.
You don't have to do it in person, but you can, make a donation to your local school or send some muffins. Just DoorDash it. Just say thank you, and then.
Wait, do you guys really accept DoorDash muffins at a school?
Yeah, I mean, they're being sent from a company. It's not like you're walking them in. You can put in, if you're sending them from a company.
Oh, right.
Like if you, order some cookies from, different places. And then week after next is for all the other staff, all the other school staff get appreciated. So you can thank a teacher assistant or, your school nurse or the front office people, anyone you want to thank at the schools. Just
thank them.
Just thank them.
Okay. Thank my old teacher.
Yeah. I mean,
bring them some joy.
Yeah.
Bring them some joy for sure.
I love to see my older kids come back. I really do. Like I said, I've attended weddings and christenings for their babies.
Really?
Things like that. Oh, yeah. Graduations all the way from their middle school to college, PhDs, all of that good stuff. So, yeah.
She has one of her former students is an NFL player.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, yeah. It's
very cool.
Yeah. So, it's nice. We like to see all of our kids come back. So, even if you think there might not be anybody there, they love to see, kids come back and just share their stories.
You ever see that story?
I didn't know. Oh, go ahead, Rick. I'm sorry.
You ever see that story of it was an elderly woman. She's in the hospital. She's very nervous because she has to have a procedure and she's scared. And then a doctor comes and sees her and tells her, I was one of your students. I was the troubled kid. what's your name? And she said, the name. He said the name. Like, oh my God, I remember you. You're a doctor?
He was a surgeon, right? He's
Yeah.
a
It was like
surgeon.
such a beautiful story.
It's so awesome. It really is. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see our kids come back and just see how they're doing. And some of them are doing really well. Some of them, they've had their struggles, but they're still persevering. So that's the thing, that they think of enough of you to come back and say, hey, I remember when you used to sit me down and talk to me and tell me the things that I could do with my life if I just use my powers for good. That's my line. Use your powers for good.
Yeah, everyone, use your powers for good.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
For God's sake, find a bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
use the bathroom.
God's sake, find a bathroom. All right, everyone, we're gonna wind this down because I'm really grossed out now. But
There's a bathroom for that.
Title of this episode is "People That Have No Shame."
Right.
no, that's the title of this episode.
Racist people.
Listen, everyone, thank you so much. We're on. You guys are making it hard for me to end this right now.
That's why this is the private lounge.
Okay, you know what? This is a private lounge. We're going to end it now. Listen, at the end of the day, remember, everyone, it really is all about
the joy.
Take care this week. Bye. Bye, everyone. Thanks for stopping by All About the Joy. Be better and stay beautiful, folks. Have a sweet day.